Certain languages have been considered appropriate for high society at different times in history. For example, Latin was associated with high education and cultural refinement from the Dark Ages through the Renaissance and even until the 18th century. Meanwhile, French had its moment of being considered the language of international diplomacy, especially in Europe, beginning in the 13th century. The same is true for the Greek language. But before Latin, French, and Greek, there was the Etrurian language. I welcome you to my YouTube channel where I explore ancient texts. The ancient texts I explore in this channel are those that have been around for thousands of years. At the moment, I'm going through From the Founding of the City by Titus Livius or Livy. This collection of books covers the history of Rome from its founding by Romulus in the 750s BCE to the time when Augustus was emperor, which was close to 0 AD. If you have not subscribed, subscribe so that you do not miss any of the videos I publish. Livy informs us that while Latin was a language of ordinary citizens, especially the plebeians in the ancient Roman Republic, those in high society used languages that were considered more sophisticated and refined. It is interesting to know that in about 1,000 years, Latin went from being a language of the commons to being the language of the high society. It is particularly understood that in ancient Rome, the children of the high society learned and were instructed in the Greek language. However, according to Livy, the Greek language had replaced another foreign language, and that is the Etrurian language. In previous videos, I explored the Etruscans' influence on Rome, including religion, political organization, and popular culture, particularly performance art. Livy does inform us that despite Rome's growth as a powerhouse in the Italian peninsula for centuries, it continued to look to its Etruscan neighbors for guidance on various aspects of its societal organization. Livy describes the Etruscans as a tribe that occupied much of the central and northern parts of the Italian peninsula from Rome's earliest days. The Etruscans were known to have occupied 12 cities, each ruled by a king and forming a federation. The most notable of their cities included Clusium, Caere, and Veii. Some of these cities, notably Veii, became the wealthiest in the peninsula. While describing the actions of one Marcus Fabius, a brother of one of the reigning consuls sometime in the 310s BCE, who led the Romans in gathering intelligence to be used to conquer more land, Livy points out that it was the custom during that time for youth of Rome to be trained and instructed in the Etrurian language. Livy writes, Marcus Fabius, the consul's brother, undertook to go and explore Ciminian forest, and to bring them in a short time an account of every particular. Being educated at Caere, where he had friends, he was perfectly acquainted with the Etrurian language. I have seen it affirmed that in those times the Roman youth were commonly instructed in the Etrurian learning as they are now in the Greek. The emerging Roman Empire later conquered and swallowed the Etruscan cities and kingdoms, and the Etruscans became Roman citizens around 90 BCE. With the decline of the Etruscan civilization, their language was abandoned by Rome's high society and even by the Etruscans themselves. If you found this video interesting, please take a moment to hit the like button. I also welcome your comments. See you in the next video.